Are you trying to record some complicated parts here in GarageBand but having trouble getting them to sound just right? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a very simple tip that can help you with this problem. By just simply reducing the tempo, we can make recording much easier. And in this video, I show you how. Let's go. Hi, my name is Pete and this is Studio Live Today, where I help you create, record and release your best music. And what I have here is my 12-bar blues track. I created this a little while ago and I'll link to the original video up the top there and down in the description. But what I wanted to do is experiment with a bit of a clarinet solo here. And you heard it in the intro, but it sounds a little bit like this. And as I was playing this, I was having some trouble actually getting the right feel and hitting the right notes. And what I thought is I would use a technique that I've used for drums, for piano, for guitar, for all sorts of sounds. Any of your virtual instruments, what we can actually do is reduce the actual tempo so that we can make playing easier. How do we do that? Well, we go into our settings. So we tap in the top right here. We go to our settings and we tap on tempo. Now this is at 140 beats per minute at the moment. What we can do though is actually reduce or increase that. So in this case, let's reduce it. Now you can tap up and down, or if you tap and hold, you can actually drag your finger down, which is a quicker way to change your tempo. So what happens if we halve the tempo of this part and press play? So you can hear there that it is much slower. So what does this mean? Well, it means that if we want to record a more complicated part, we can do it at half the speed. This is great for drums as well as melodic and harmonic components of your track. So why don't we delete this clarinet part? It's just a little improvised part anyway. And let's see if we can re-record this using this. And I'll make it a little bit complicated and perhaps a little bit more complicated than you normally would, just so that I can show you how easy it is to do it when you slow things down. And then when we speed it back up, you'll hear how it sits back in the piece nicely. Okay, so if anything, that was a little bit too slow. I sort of lost a bit of the feel of the swing rhythm there in some of those parts there. But anyway, you can see the point here, and I really just wanted to show you this process because now all we need to do is go back to our tempo and let's increase this by dragging up, back up to our 140, and let's just take a listen to how this sounds now at double the speed. Okay, so one wrong note in there, and what you will notice though is that because I'm playing these quite slowly, some of the notes are not quite joined. So what you may need to do if you use this method is actually come in here to your edit window and overlap your notes a bit more, because if you were playing a real clarinet, you wouldn't sort of stop one note and then start the next one. What do I mean? Well, we can grab this and just drag the ends out so that they're a little bit more overlap. So don't change the start of your notes, but if you change the end of your notes, you can see there, and if we just sort of play, I'll do this one here. I'll just move this one here. If we just play this little section back, you'll hear what I mean here if we join these up. So you can hear there that that little part where you have those trills or those really fast parts, they're going to connect together if you edit them a little bit better. So there you go. That is all I wanted to show today. You can see, you can probably already tell, this has a lot of applications with other instruments, especially with drums. If you've got a drum beat that you want to be really complex or really syncopated and you can't get the rhythm right, jump in here to your tempo, drop that down, record it, and then you will be good to go. Oh, and one thing to keep in mind here, this method only works with your virtual instrument tracks. If you have an audio recorder track like this vocal track that I've just recorded in here, and we go and change our tempo, so let's do that now. We drop it back down to our 70 beats per minute or thereabouts. Look what happens here. It actually reduces that vocal track. And now if we play it back, so because there's no time shifting or no way of stretching or compressing the actual audio, that we won't change the speed of that, it's not going to sit in there. So all you really need to do there is mute that while you're doing your other tracks, your virtual tracks. But then when you come back in here and you put your tempo back to the original tempo, so make sure you remember exactly what that was, then your audio track will go back and you'll see that it will be 100% fine. And that is going to do it for this video. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, or other tips that you like to use here in GarageBand, let me know those down in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Hey, thanks for sticking around. If you enjoy GarageBand tips just like this one, you may want to check out the 2 lists of videos linked right down below, where I have a whole bunch more tips, tricks, and tutorials all about GarageBand here on the iPhone and the iPad. You can also head on over to studiolivetoday.com for even more audio goodness.